What if I told you there was a way to land your perfect agent with ease and convenience, but it might not be the silver bullet that you think it is? Imagine your profile reaching literally hundreds of agents, but still getting overlooked. Today, we are diving into Actors Access Talent Link versus the EPK and discovering which one can truly make you shine. Are you ready? Let's go. But hey, just a sec. Before we jump in, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and share it with an actor friend or two. So you're looking for an agent. You're trying to land your first agent, you're trying to level up, or you're trying to break into a new market. Trying to get an agent can be a daunting experience filled with lots of anxiety and self-doubt. But it doesn't have to be. But come on, let's face it. It's no wonder that actors are always looking for an easier way to make the whole agent finding process just a little bit easier. And why are actors so desperate to get an agent? I'll tell you why. Because they think that agents are the only way to get them the kinds of opportunities that are going to get them to the next level. But I want to remind you that agents are just one way. They are important and they're good to have, but they are just one way for you to get the kinds of opportunities that are going to get you to the next level in your career. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you're going to get to where you want to go. This is what I tell all of my clients. Look, I love my agents. I love all three of them, as a matter of fact. Agents are great for having your back when something goes wrong, for negotiating contracts, for getting you better pay, for being the bad guy when you don't want to accept a lower rate. Well, sorry, I would totally do it for that price, but my agent just won't let me. And they're there to make sure that you also don't get taken advantage of, to make sure that the contract that you signed with the production company is being adhered to. So agents are definitely necessary. And when you get a good one, they're an integral part of your team that will make all the difference in your career. And that's what I want to help you do here, is get a good agent. And the way to do it is to establish a personal connection, but we're going to get to that. So look, there are many ways to go about getting an agent, but today we're only going to be discussing two of them. The first one is using Actors Access and Breakdown Services. They have another service called Talent Link and also the EPK. This is something that I highly recommend. All of my clients use this, and it's a wonderful way to really showcase who you are, not only as an actor, but also as a human being. First things first, though, before diving into the submission process, have you actually given any thought to what you want from your new agent? This is hopefully going to be a very long and fruitful relationship. And so the first thing you should do is think about what you want from this relationship. The more thought you put into this before you start your search, the better off you'll be when it comes to making your final decision. I want to remind you, you do not need to take the first agent that says that they want you. Think of it a bit like dating. I mean, you wouldn't marry the first person that wanted to marry you without going out on a few dates, would you? I mean, they're supposed to be the kind of partner that you want to spend some significant time with, significant other. Well, your agent is kind of like that too. I know. We've been conditioned to believe that they hold all the power and we are just lowly peons, and we should be happy that anybody wants us at all until we become stars, and then we call all the shots. But I have to remind you again, you have a lot more power than you think. I have learned that in this life, you get what you think you deserve. That's why it is so important to figure this out before you begin your search. So let me explain Talent Link a little bit. The idea is that you pay a fee, I believe it's $35, and you can then submit your Actors Access profile to hundreds of agents, all waiting to take someone like you onto their roster at one time. In theory, it sounds great, right? But let's look at it a little closer. So what exactly is Talent Link? Talent Link is an extension of Actors Access, connecting actors with agents, managers across various genres like theatrical, commercial, industrial, modeling, reality, all sorts of different things. It leverages the network of Breakdown Services, which is widely used for casting for television and film. Essentially, Talent Link distributes your profile to agents and managers within your chosen region which is supposedly going to increase your chances of finding the right agent. And I believe for that $35, you get 2 weeks that your profile is active amongst the agents and managers. So let's dive into how Talent Link and the EPK can actually affect your agent search. First up, Talent Link. You may already be gleaning my opinion on this, but let's get into it. Its pros. It is convenient. I'll give it that. One click and your profile goes out to hundreds of agents at one time. That's pretty convenient and very easy. Doesn't get any easier than that. But the cons? That convenience comes at a cost. First of all, your profile becomes just another name in their inbox. It doesn't have anything personal about it. It's just a bunch of stats. Nothing there to distinguish you from all the other hundreds of actors who've also done the exact same thing you did and pressed click. So there's a very real chance that your Actors Access profile could get buried under the proverbial heap of hundreds of other actors, all hoping to land a spot on that agent's roster. It's highly competitive. Everybody's using it, which means that agents are being flooded with submissions, which makes it really hard to stand out. But the biggest con, you are reduced to the stats on your CV. If you don't have like really impressive Juilliard training and a couple of really high profile shows on your resume, that agent may just gloss right over you. And the sad thing is they're missing out on actually seeing all the potential that you do offer. Now let's talk about the EPK. So in my coaching program, the EPK stands for Electronic Pitch Kit. And that's what it is. It is a way for you to pitch yourself as an actor to agents, directors, casting directors, open casting notices, all sorts of different situations. It is so important for us actors to be able to pitch ourselves as more than just stats on a CV. So the pros of an EPK is you get to showcase your true self. There are no generic profiles on an EPK. With Actors Access Talent Link, everything is standardized. It all looks exactly the same. The only thing that is different is your headshot or your show reel or, the projects that you've been a part of. An EPK lets you be authentically you, starting with the colors that you use and the fonts that you use and the way that you choose to lay everything out. Agents begin to get a real sense of your personality, who you are, and the brand of who you are. And then they can see from there if you're a good fit for their agency. Another really positive pro, as far as I'm concerned, is you can include a personal introduction video. So I like to call these an about me, but it's basically, you know what it is? It's when somebody says to you, so tell me about yourself. And for a minute, maximum 90 seconds, you tell somebody something interesting about yourself to show them how charming and fun and nice or smart or whatever it may happen to be. It's kind of like shaking hands with somebody before you actually get to meet them. So, personal connection? Check. And that's what this industry is built on. People like to work with people they like. So, EPKs exude professionalism. A well-crafted EPK tells your potential agent that you are serious about your craft. It's basically your digital business card. And as an extra plus, one great thing you can do is add a QR code to your business card that links directly to your EPK. And another great thing is EPKs are not mainstream yet. So it's another way to stand out from the crowd. Most actors are only using their Actors Access profile or Backstage or Spotlight or their website. That's another one. But they're not using an EPK. And an EPK is a much more focused, targeted way of showcasing where you want to go and not where you've been. And that is super important. They're visually compelling, they're interactive, and they linger in an agent's mind, making you memorable. And you also have control over your narrative. On Talent Link, everything is standardized. There is no way to really stand out unless they actually click on your show reel and take a look at your talent. That's a way to stand out, but you have to get them to actually click on the show reel, right? If you can't get them to click, then you've lost them. And an EPK is really a wonderful way of controlling that entire narrative. You can showcase exactly where you want their eye to go. You can include things like testimonials from directors. They are a fantastic tool because they let you highlight your strengths and showcase your journey. So let's look at the cons of an EPK. Okay, if you're doing this on your own, an EPK can be kind of time consuming to put together. It's worth it, but it can be time consuming. And if you're technologically challenged, that can be a problem too, because they're digital, right? So you've got to find a home for them online somewhere. You don't want to be using a PDF because a lot of agents won't want to open a PDF from a stranger. That just makes sense. I wouldn't want to do it either. This is why in my program, I include all sorts of templates for my clients to use because I don't want them to be sweating about how to put it together or any of that. They should really just be able to cut and paste, drop their stuff into the EPK, and then do a little bit of tweaking for the colors and the fonts and be done with it. This way, they're always able to put their best foot forward and not have to worry about creating an EPK from scratch. And another con is, hey, putting together a really well-crafted EPK, it's an art. Understanding what to include and what to exclude, those are equally important. And you certainly don't want to have so much in your EPK that you're overwhelming whoever's come to look at it. You want to make sure that it's streamlined and that it's only highlighting, again, where you want to go and not necessarily just where you've been. There is an art to crafting an EPK that is perfectly on brand and streamlined to make agents want you without overwhelming them. This is just, if I'm being very honest, one of the tools that gives my clients an unfair advantage when they're out there in the industry. So if you'd like to learn more about how to work with me, then set up a free consultation. The link is in the show notes below. I would love to talk to you and see if you're a good fit for my program. And next week, we are going to get into the best way to research agents before you actually have some meetings so you know what to say to them. So before you go, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Until next time, you stay your bold and beautiful self. Bye-bye.